Hello, in this part we're going to make the option to delete an existing to-do. So I'll just add another column. It's going to be pretty much similar to the edit column. We'll add a button so that we can click it and that will delete the to-do. I have the restriction in place that a to-do should not be able to be deleted if it has not been completed, just to have some kind of business logic validation. So let us get to it. We need to go to the list controller to add that extra button. Well, that's actually in the list XML. We'll go here, yep, and we'll say delete column. That's going to add an extra column, and I think I'm going to steal 25 pixels from each of these to make a new one like that, and we'll just name it del for delete. Obviously I could use CSS styling to have a button with not just a text but more like a cross, for example a red cross that would indicate something to be deleted, but we'll perhaps look at that later on. This is yellow, meaning that my controller, this controller, does not have a field variable that is named delete column of type table column. So we will press Alt Enter and create that field, and there we go. And we need to say what does that column contain. So I'll give it a to do and the button to work with that to do. I'll have to set it up down here. Going to be pretty similar to this one. We'll say delete column, set cell, blah blah blah. Arc will use the lambda expression that's a bit shorter than the other approach, and we need to return a, well, I'll just steal this, and then the middle part will remove that because I have to do something different, a different kind of functionality, and just wonderful. Just put it up here in the middle so we better can see things. So this is the to-do. I have clicked del for delete, obviously, and we want the view model. View. What do I have? What do I have? I have a list view model. I want to, instead of load or get, I want to delete to do, and it is this one, get ID. Now I happen to know that the method for deleting a to-do in the domain layer takes an ID, so let us do this. It might have been better to give it a to-do object, but because when we delete something here in the domain, delete, right, I still get the to-do object from the database, or my file database in quotation marks, citation, those air quotes, whatever. If I gave it a to-do, I wouldn't have to look it up, but maybe there's still some idea to fetch the to-do, so I know that it's reloaded. And what if I had modified the to-do without that being saved to the database? So this is just an extra check that I don't give it an unsaved to-do, and that cannot be deleted for some reason, or it could be deleted, but the to-do in the database should not have been able to be deleted. So whatever, we'll continue down this road now that we have started on. I need a method in my view model to be able to delete a to-do. It takes an ID. We are going to say this here could potentially go wrong, right? If I try to delete something that is not completed, I will get an exception thrown. So let's just say we want to show that alert here again. So if I catch an exception, I throw an alert with the error. Yep, I don't really need an instance of it. We'll just say show and wait, so we can one-line it easier. Show and wait, showing property show, but the program will continue. Doesn't really matter in this case, but sometimes you want to not go on to the next line of code until you have clicked the button. Maybe it's a do you really want to delete this thing? So we could actually do that. New, and it is not an error message. We say delete to do, and it is not an error, it is a confirmation, and we need a button accept, close, apply, yes, okay. And we also need a button type cancel, and we show and wait, and then we say if in this case I actually do need a reference to it, not like that, yes, like that, alert. If alert, I forgot the get alert type, no, get button presses, get alert type. Well, I need to know what button was pressed. That's an observable list. So how do we do that? Okay, so after about 7 seconds of intensive Googling, I have learned that there is a get result, and if that is equal to button OK, then here we go. Then we want to delete something. Okay, so this will just pop up with a confirmation saying, do you actually want to delete this to do? And I will click OK. Maybe I will click yes. In this case I'm clicking OK. I think there's a yes button also, yes, apply, whatever. And we are stuck here until I actually click a button, and when I have clicked the button, we will check if that button was okay, in which case we'll delete it to do. Otherwise we will, well, I click the cancel button, in which case I don't do anything. If I'm trying to delete it to do, which I'm not allowed to delete, I will show this here. That's probably okay. We'll test it out later, right away. Let's test it right. Get class, get name, delete to do. Now I know I don't have that many methods where I print out stuff anymore, but I have seen that in some of your exercises you have printouts all over the place. So I like to print out which class, which method, and then the information, just so I know where is things, one thing, where are multiple things printed out. And also that makes it easier to clean up afterwards. If I get printed out something, whatever, and I'm not able to see where that is printed out from, then yeah, I have to go looking for that. Obviously there's a search across everything, but right, search in files. But I like this approach. It's optional, you can do whatever. I was about to run this to see what happens, if anything happens, how far we are. That pops up right away. That is because now it pops up for every column that I'm showing, and that's definitely not the case. I'm saying here the button, and then I'm showing an alert, but what I actually want to do is button add action on action. What was it called again? Set on action, right? This is what we want to do. What should happen when the button is pressed? Well, then I want to show that pop-up confirmation argument. Wonderful catch here, and in you go. Arc, set on action. Do I have an arc? I have an arc. We'll call it event, whatever. I don't need it. There we go. This feels better. Okay, delete something. Delete to do, confirmation. If I cancel, nothing is printed out, it just closes. I don't want to do the dishes because I have a dishwasher, so easy peasy. Okay, and then it's actually printed out with the correct ID to him. So, off to a pretty good start, I think. Now we just need to make this persisted. So we say view model. We don't say that one, we say this one, list view model. Instead of printing stuff out, we will say to do logic. And I want to remove, delete something, that ID. And well, I can do one of the two things. Now I could clear the list of to-dos and load the data, sort of reload the data. Alternatively, I can just say to-dos, remove, not that, remove if, remove all, remove if. So I want to remove the to-do, and let's say to-do, I want to remove the to-do with the ID like that. Does it return anything? It returns a boolean if anything was removed. What if nothing was removed? That's probably not the case because I have clicked a to-do in the I have clicked on a specific to-do, and that specific to-do obviously have an ID. So I don't see that that ID could not be found in the list, but just in case, I probably don't need this. So we're going to do it anyway. To do with ID, come on, with ID. ID could not be found in the table. Okay, so I'm trying to first sell my, well, all the way down to the database here, my class diagram. So all the way and I click a button here, it should go all the way down to the database. And if I get an error from here, sorry, my domain layer, then this part is skipped because this here will throw the exception, and that exception is being called in here to show that. So that means if I do get that exception thrown, this doesn't happen and I don't remove anything. Delete. Well, I have that functionality in place, so everything from the domain and data access should be working. So let's give it another go and see if I can delete something. I want to delete do the dishes. Yes, I want to delete it. Cannot delete on completed to do. Okay, tough luck. I just paused the video and went and did the dishes. Totally, truthfully. Delete. Yes, I want to delete it. Huh. To do with ID is not found in the table. So I do actually, but it disappeared. I had no dishes. So what happens? What happens? What happens? I press the delete. My list of to-dos. Load all, get all. That is weird. Get all. This one gets everything from the database, puts it in a new list, not really necessary. This one here creates a new list. So I had that problem previously where I worked on the same list, but that shouldn't be a problem now. Okay, hang on. Right, it's because I'm stupid, and you know, life is just hard when you're stupid. So what happens here in my view model? Right, I try to delete a to-do, I delete that to-do, then I try to delete it from the list, and this one returns a true if that was deleted from the list. So if I do find a to-do with the given ID, I return it. No, sorry, I delete it, or it is deleted from the list. And then we return true, and because we return true, I throw the exception. So I want a not saying if I could not find the specific to-do, if I could not find any to-do to delete with that given ID, then we throw the exception. So just a logic error. Let's do this again. Description, do the dishes. It's down here, ID 5. I completed, I deleted, yes, it's deleted, stuff is reloaded, all is good. Wonderful. So I think that is it for this video. Next up on the list of my things to do, not in my to-do app, but on my GitHub, I have added a roadmap, current roadmap. I've just completed the to-do. The next part I imagine is to add some filtering functionality so that I don't see all of the to-dos, but I can say I just want the to-dos for tools, or I just want the to-dos that are not completed, that kind of thing. Next video. Thanks for watching.